Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again for your third and final video blog of the night for Tuesday, March 24th, 2015, around 8:36 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Cold out. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little warmer, close to 50, and Thursday we could get reaching up to the 60s, but it's going to be some heavy-duty rain. Some news to report. Fox has announced they're going to reboot the classic TV sci-fi series The X-Files in a limited run, only 6 episodes, coming next year. And also, Brock Lesnar has re-signed a new deal with the WWE, and that will be ending his MMA career. Brock Lesnar will probably be retaining the WWE Championship this Sunday against Roman Reigns. And that's about it on the news. My third and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is former first baseman George Boomer Scott. George was a Major League Baseball player who played 14 seasons in the big leagues, mainly with the Red Sox, but he had stints with the Brewers, the Royals, and the Yankees. George was born and he grew up in Greenville, Mississippi, and he played Little League Baseball when he was younger as a first baseman and outfielder. Then in high school, he played baseball, basketball, and football. He was the quarterback for his high school football team, and he was a pretty good baseball player. He could hit, run, field, kind of a 5'2" player. And he was signed by the Boston Red Sox in 1962. This was before the MLB amateur draft, and players were signed by scouts right after high school, most of them were. And George spent 4 seasons in the minor leagues for the Red Sox, minor league system for the Boston Red Sox. In 1965, when he played for Pittsfield in the Eastern League, he won the Eastern League's Triple Crown, which is home runs, RBIs, and batting average. That's a Triple Crown for batting. He was pretty good. He also won Eastern League MVP that year. And in 1966, George made his Major League Baseball debut with the Red Sox as a first baseman. He was number 15. He played all 162 games in 1966 with the Boston Red Sox, and he was a real good player. He made the All-Star team in 1966, first of 3 All-Star appearances. He won 8 Gold Gloves, and he called his glove Black Beauty, and he was a pretty good defensive first baseman. He wore number 15 for the Red Sox. He called every home run he hit taters, and he hit a lot of home runs during his career. 6 times he was 20 home runs or more home runs during the season. 2 times he drove in 100 RBIs. 2 times he was a 300 hitter. George Scott was very colorful and stuff. He was the first major African-American star for the Boston Red Sox. He played for the Red Sox for 6 seasons, 1966 through 71. Then he got traded to the Milwaukee Brewers, and he had some very consistent years with the Brewers. In 1975, he led the American League in home runs and RBIs. He was traded back to the Red Sox in 1976. He had some more productive seasons with the Red Sox, made a couple of other All-Star teams. He ended his career in 1979 by playing for 3 teams: the Boston Red Sox, the Kansas City Royals, and the New York Yankees. George retired after the 1979 season, and he had a career average of 268, 271 home runs, and 1,051 RBIs, and George was one of the only few players in Major League Baseball history when he was playing the field in first base where he wore a batting helmet instead of a cap, because a couple of times he was hit in with objects and stuff, and he wanted to protect his head and stuff like that. And George Scott was eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985 for the first time, but he didn't get the necessary votes to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He was up from the ballot. He didn't have the stats to make the Baseball Hall of Fame. And after he retired from playing baseball for many years, George coached minor league baseball. He actually was the manager of independent teams, mainly in like Massachusetts and stuff like that. In 2006, George Scott was voted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame. 154 of his 154 of his 271 career home runs were hit in a Red Sox uniform. He was probably a great player with the Red Sox, George Scott, and he passed away about 2 years ago because he was suffering a long battle with diabetes, which was a very deadly disease to have, diabetes. But George Scott was a great home run hitter in the 60s and 70s. And that's about it on George Scott, the Boomer. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. 3 more video blogs coming tomorrow. First video blog will be the review of WrestleMania 13. I'll tell you about the infamous Stone Cold versus Bret the Hitman Hart submission match, which a double turn happened. Plus, other video blogs will be about the history of world-class championship wrestling. And the third and final video blog of the night will be the personality profile, Adam Oates. And coming soon, Facebook friends, YouTube followers, April's going to be a great month for these personality profile video blogs. Some of the names I'm going to have on these video blogs for personality profiles in April. This is the list: William Shatner, Heather Locklear, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Vern Gagne, George Mikan, Dino Ciccarelli, Harmon Killapro, Fran Tarkenton, The Rock, Wayne Gretzky, Julie Broughton, Heidi Pratt, Bob Barker, Joe Sakic, Steve Eisenman, Scott Stevens, Mario Lemieux, Lanny McDonald, Captain Lou Albano, The Grand Wizard, Freddie Brastley, Arnold Skaaland, Miss Elizabeth, Mr. Fuji, Jim Cornette, Jimmy Hart, Bernie Kosar, Brad Doherty, and Jim Tomey's. There's going to be a lot of theme weeks during these video blogs. Like the theme weeks from April 5th through April 10th will be Minnesota's greatest sports athletes of all time. Then from April 10th to April 14th, the great ones. And from April 15th through April 19th will be Stanley Cup winning captains. And from April 20th through April 27th will be wrestling managers who led their men to WWE titles. And from April 28th through April 30th will be Cleveland sports greatest athletes. And in May, the personality profiles will be taking a hiatus. But the top 10 list will be coming back in May. And what I'm going to kick off in May is a top 10 list of all 30 NBA teams' top 10 greatest players. Everybody's been dying for that to come back. And, you know, the personality profiles probably be back in June. Need to rest these things for a while because they need hiatus and stuff like that. But I'm so happy to do April, these video blogs, especially Julie Broughton. Everybody's going to be dying for the personality profile on her. Well, see you tomorrow, everybody. Good night, and see you later.